The following is intended for mature audiences only. May contain strong language, crude humor, adult themes, and suggestive material.
You know what I've been doing recently? Laser tag for relaxation. Doesn't seem like it would be relaxing, but it is the most relaxing thing. I'm dominating the leaderboards.
Hey man, great catching up.
It's crazy. It's me and a bunch of kids, but like something about the beam of light in that area where you're running through and tagging all the bases and stuff just gets me in that zone.
Hey man, I gotta.
You know my cat, Pickles? Well, he's not Pickles anymore. You know I rename him every month, but I just got him a harness.
Hey man,
Right, he hated it at first, and then I got him a couple more and he chewed through those. But on the fourth one, he really took to it.
I'm getting another call.
You know my other cat is like a little jealous of him. You know, I'm giving it a little more attention. I mean, I didn't mean to, but like he's the one willing to go on walks. Like exercise is important for cats. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about getting my real estate license. My cousin, Bob, he's killing at the real estate game. I don't want to sell like small homes or even mid-sized homes. I want to sell like $1 million homes. You know what the commission would be on that? It's like $100,000. I would be a baller. I would be on like one of those shows.
Hey man, I gotta go.
Oh, dude, yeah, no problem. I'll talk to you later. Hey, I'm Jake Bradbury.
And I'm Will Blank.
And we are 20th Century Fox, a film collective that produced 16 short films, and for each film, we made a behind-the-scenes podcast. Today's guest is creative collaborator Ambar Salinas. Today's discussion, we dive into how some of the best ideas come from real-life experiences, like our friend Ambar trying to get off the phone with a friend that won't shut up, which is ultimately a very relatable theme. There's a lot that goes into the creative process, but one of the biggest things we know is that poop jokes always get laughs. Just an FYI, this one used to be called Cellular, so don't get confused, it's now called The Conversation.
All right, let's go.
We got another podcast.
Another podcast.
20th Century Fox coming at you with Cellular.
Cellular. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Jake.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Ambar.
She's Ambar.
Ambar.
Who can say her name the best? Ambar.
Ambar.
Guys are never going to get it. That's
Okay. It's the rolling of the R's.
We all contributed in our various ways to the creation of Cellular.
Yeah. I shot it.
Jake shot it.
Most of it.
I acted in it. And Ambar was truly, I think, the inspiration.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were kind of going around the room, right? Mm-hmm. And we were each asking what happened this week to us. And Ambar, what did you say?
You guys really had to like get it out of me because I came here just wanting to watch you guys do your thing, and I did not want to participate at all. I wanted to be a fly on the wall, just watching, and I just told you guys about this weird phone call that lasted 2 hours with a friend when I was walking my dog.
2 hours.
It was 2 hours.
You just couldn't get off the phone with her, right?
No, and she just kept like saying random stuff.
What was some of those random stuff that she was
You know,
talking about?
She was talking about getting a harness for a cat, which then she took a video of it and I sent it to Will. And then how laser tag is really relaxing for her because it kind of like gets all the negative energy out. I don't know how that works, but I mean, I should try it. I really want to try it.
So I guess I synthesized all of that and then just improvised that call.
I think that was the thing, though, is it just kept becoming more and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was real.
Yes.
It was like you just were like you're like, oh, so she was talking about it. It was like, what? What else did she talk about? And then you just kept going on, and it kept all of it was
worse.
Gold.
Such an odd person.
She's getting a real estate license.
Oh, she did.
And
She
this
just
is
got
all
it.
real. Like everything
Yeah.
in the video is actually what this
Yes.
person
She
over the course of the 2-hour phone call said to Ambar.
And she changes the name of her cat every month. It starts with Pickles, but it's always with a P. It never switches from. It's like Pickles,
You
Pumpernickel.
can't write this stuff.
It's
No.
pretty crazy.
She doesn't
Honestly.
know about this.
Right.
I'll tell her.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
should.
think
She's
she'll
gonna be
ever.
One day.
Featured on the podcast.
One
Don't say
day.
Yeah,
names.
we should
I
have
won't
her
say
here.
names.
But she's the inspiration for
Yeah.
sure for this particular piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Jake, what was your process? Because you were the one who had to say all of this stuff.
Right. Well, basically, I just listened to her telling me about her friend, and then I think we were in the park, and I was pretending to be on the phone. I was actually on the phone, and I think both of you would just yell things at me, like, "All right, laser tag. How much you enjoy laser tag?" And that was riff. And I knew I was doing well because you both would be in stitches. Like
Yeah,
just
we were trying to
laughing.
stifle our laughter because we didn't want to catch it on mic.
And I would just riff for like 5-10 minutes on a particular subject, and then you would be like cats and harnesses, and then I would riff on cats and harnesses, and then real estate and whatever else.
And why were we in the park?
Oh right, so originally this had a different ending where we cut to me in the park having had this conversation, and
You're like the other end of the conversation.
the other end of the conversation, and I put down the phone, and then I bring out a box, and I propose to my girlfriend, played by Ambar, and it was a ridiculous thing because she's just so furious at me that I had just spent 3 hours on this conversation. Like I was mid-kneel, and I was having this conversation, and so we're meant to believe that she waited there for that entire time.
Yeah, or that the irony for us was that I seemed like I was the one who needed to get off the phone, but it was actually you, the
Yeah.
person wasting all the time, who had the
Right.
way more important thing to do,
Right.
which was propose to your girlfriend.
Right.
And
Right.
and so you got down on one knee and you
Mm-hmm.
said, will you marry me after you got off the phone? After I get off the phone with you.
Yeah.
You finally proposed to her, and
Right.
she's just standing there. It's a reveal of her just
Upset.
standing there looking pissed.
Just upset. And you didn't really know at first, like the first shot was you didn't really know that I was kneeling, and then it reveals that I'm kneeling, and I bring out the ring and everything.
Yeah.
The funniest part of that is that I did it the first time, and then people in the park thought I was actually proposing. So they were like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That was funny. But ultimately, we decided not to include that scene.
Thank God.
Yeah, in the editing, it felt like it distracted from the main thesis. It
Right.
just sent it into this weird, bizarre world that
Right.
was no longer grounded in anything, and focusing it on just a man trying to get off the phone so he could take a shit
Yeah.
was the...
Yeah. Keeping it
And I'm
simple.
not
More
sure
effective.
who came up with that, actually. It was either you or me, or a discussion that we had about just lob off the end.
Oh, it was definitely like, because Ambar was
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
when we were cutting it, and I think we just got to a certain point. I just couldn't see it. I just
Right.
couldn't see how we were going to get there.
Didn't feel right.
Right.
Yeah, and it would, because basically the video feels over once he gets off the phone,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it cuts to this other thing, and it's like a double ending,
Right.
and you're sort of like,
I was like, the only way it could work is if we immediately go to him as soon as he gets off the phone. But then you miss the catharsis from the first guy.
The other thing, and maybe we can do this version because it could be funny, is the only way it really works is as an after credit sequence, right?
Oh yeah.
Because then if it's just, then it's like an addition to the world as opposed to a part of the main thesis of the video. So maybe that's how we wedge it in.
What was it like acting in it for you, Ambar?
I hate acting.
Yeah?
I didn't even have any lines, but I was just like, I'm fucking this up.
No, you were great. It
yeah,
was
you
funny.
literally just had to pull a face, like
Yeah.
really disappointed.
Yeah.
That's not hard. You
and
just
hopefully-
look at me or Will and just pull that
Disappointed.
face anytime.
Yeah. That
And
should be
hopefully
easy.
we'll cut it in so that people can actually see her performance.
Yeah.
Right? Because right now they'll have no idea.
Right, no, it wouldn't make any
but
sense. My favorite contribution to this, I think, is that I insisted on the plops at the end.
you did.
One of many.
You did. I got to the end and I was just going to be like, okay, we're done. Or no, was it you that suggested like, hey, we should do he poops. Like
yes, I think so, and I think people agreed with me. Either people had already
it was
suggested it.
So I looked up some stuff and. Yeah, it was like people were like, "Oh, you should definitely have poop noises," and I really didn't want to do it because it was just so gross.
Yeah,
and
it's gross.
It felt like we like to think we're doing elevated sketches or elevated
art,
short films, and hearing the poop hitting the porcelain sounds that are so authentic.
Really authentic. I think literally someone just recorded themselves.
It might, it wasn't us. That was freesound.org.
Yeah, shout
out. Sound effect. And it was so fucking gross to me.
Yeah, it's super gross. But also, let me remind you, our very first viral video, 5 things you shouldn't do in a public restroom.
Right, which has millions of views.
Nothing but poop jokes.
Yeah.
I've never seen this.
Still watch it. People still watch it. Made in College. One of our first, if not our first video.
There was other ones that we did before that, but we didn't release it.
Yeah.
But that's the second one.
That's the second one. Hell 9000 was our first.
That was the first one. where Jake's microwave was Hal.
Yeah. So he doesn't really have a lot of power. He can just like overheat your food.
Yeah.
Or like open the door and close it. That's it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm shutting off the oxygen, Jake. And you're like, you don't have that power. Like, you can't do that.
Right.
I need to watch these.
No, you don't.
Please.
No.
You really
Please.
don't. There are college ones. But they're funny.
But yeah,
still.
we're happy with them.
Yeah, so poop jokes.
Poop jokes.
People love poop
so
jokes.
people, it was pretty much across the board. Everybody was like, it's better if you go all the way there.
Yeah.
Go all the way there.
Yeah. Finally gets to relax.
People are expecting it if you're sitting on the toilet.
It's like, it's like you're not paying it off if you don't go there.
We could have come up with a myriad of ways of places you could have been to take that phone call.
Right.
And we chose the particular one that we used, which is the bathroom.
Yeah.
So.
Do you remember we're all like crammed up in the shower?
and we it was a really small space, my bathroom, and so we had Matt here as well. So there were 4 of us total. Was it you and Jake in the bathtub? Was Matt in the bathtub too?
Oh my God, it was so
in the
crammed.
bathtub.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was just impossible because that was the best way to get an angle.
Yeah.
And so,
it
you
was
guys,
the angle and the sound and like trying to like do gymnastics over in that tiny little bathroom. Yeah, that was fun.
But what was it about? I think you just were really impatient that day. You didn't want to get a bunch of coverage. You were just like, I want to get out of here. I don't want to do this.
No, it was more like I didn't see the vision you had. I had my own vision.
Right.
And my own vision did not involve getting a bunch of like coverage or inserts of like you tapping and stuff. I was like, we've already used that. You've already used that. Let's do something different. Let's do something else. I wanted to like shoot it differently too. Yeah. And I think that first shot is an indication of shooting it differently. That like sort of like close up, really close up on you in that sort of, dolly.
Yeah,
back.
it's different. Yeah, it's different than what we normally do.
Yeah. And I just was like, I don't know. I was throwing a hissy fit.
You were not having it.
Basically, I was so
like,
then
no, I just shot those inserts without you.
That's right.
Because I knew
you wanted
them.
it in the editing room, and I was at that point. I was like, fine.
Well, also we shot it, and then I was trying to cut it, and I'm like, I can barely cut this. I'm missing so many pieces. There's nothing to cut away to even. So we were screwed, and then we got Alejandro when we were doing another video to just get a couple shots and make them look good. So all of the Dutch angle shots on my face and that stuff was all Alejandro coming to save the day.
Hey, he didn't save the day. He just made it a little better.
Yeah.
No, I remember coming in and seeing an early cut.
This was no Girl Interrupted, buddy.
I saw an early cut and you were having trouble, like you were trying to build.
I was trying to make a huge build on my I wanted to layer your voice a bunch of times. I really was like, I was overthinking it basically. And once you came in and you had saw where I was taking it in overthinking land, you were just like, dude, just cut to the phone. Basically have the phone do the progression. Right. So like, what is the first one? You're never going to get off the phone.
Yeah.
And then the second one, this is your life now, and just let it build from that. And then that totally clarified it up, or clarified it, cleared everything up. And from there, it was just sound design.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
once we had the
Which
edit.
was great, by the way. The music cues or whatever, the bomb.
The low end stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. We played around with that a lot when we were cutting
remember.
it.
What was it like cutting it for you?
For me, it was just mostly watching him getting frustrated.
Which is kind of like all
yeah,
of them, right?
yeah, all of them.
Kind of all of them. All of them are frustrating in their own
I was
their
like,
own ways.
it's good, it's good.
Yeah, it's good, man.
It's like, no.
It's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
But yeah, we were just kind of riffing, getting different shots. And actually, I feel like we had to do 80 different takes of me responding, And then in the editing room, I basically had to shape your dialogue around my responses.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Which was also really
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, okay, somehow I need to weave these two things together.
Right.
Because they were totally separate.
Right.
You're riffing in the park. I just used the audio of that, put a filter on it. And then my, I swear to God, we did like 12 takes of that.
No, we did, yeah.
And
we did.
I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
And then in the editing room, thankfully, I was able to just minimize the amount of cuts, find the right takes where it made sense for me to,
That's right, yeah. Yeah, I remember you doing a bunch of different responses, and I wanted you to have like a ton of them.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's a lot. You
It was
know,
a
when you're
lot.
not actually responding to what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you have to create that in post.
And
so.
this was created in post
Totally.
in that way. And so
Totally.
that's what made it so hard. You
Was
know,
this
it's just
one of
not
our
having a
last ones?
roadmap, you know. This was definitely one of our last ones. For sure. I can't remember though if it was a replacement. No, the Purge was a
Yeah,
replacement
the Purge
for the
was
other
the replacement
one.
for the
Okay.
other one. This one was, I don't know, we just had that. It was just us three, I remember.
Yeah.
And we just had that idea and riffed on it, and then it became something. But it was like a low energy day as well. Like
Yeah.
it was a snipey day.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good to talk about this stuff too, because we still did it regardless of, you know, being upset about the day.
And I feel like we all have our snipey days. Mm-hmm. I don't remember any of mine.
Oh no, of course not. Selective memory.
I actually don't.
Oh,
Are
good.
there days that I was like snipey?
Yeah,
Really?
of course.
Which ones did I do?
Well, there were days
yoga?
where you
yoga,
were-
I was getting pissed.
Yeah. Oh, big time. I think there were days where you were just totally out of it, high out of your mind, and like
Yeah,
you didn't want to be directed at all. And we're just like, you just got to finish like this one line. You're like, no. Okay. All right.
So
well,
we
you
all
gotta
get
do
we
it.
all get our chance to be a diva
It's
on
true.
the 20th Century Fox
It's true.
film sets.
So true.
So what was it like for you to watch it from set until finishing, till we finished it?
Me?
Yeah,
It was
because you saw every part of it,
yeah, I saw every part of it and I was so happy.
and you went to the screening too, right? Weren't
I
you
did,
there?
I did.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
go to screening. And
Talk about all that stuff.
so it was just, I really wanted to see how you guys, you know, the whole process of just doing it in one day. So I was like, I don't know how we're going to make this into
Yeah,
something.
that was the first one you were a part of it from the
Yeah.
beginning. Yeah,
Yeah, it
Okay.
was the first, I think, and it was the first time I had met Jake.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just remember you like laying on the couch, just not wanting to talk or anything.
Oh, now I remember.
Now you remember.
Now I remember. I got here too early, I think. I got here way too early.
Yeah.
Maybe even an hour before.
Yeah.
Because I do that. I don't know why. I like to be early. And I'd taken a nap. So I was just like napping and upset.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to bother
And I
him.
was just, I woke up and I was upset that I was there an hour early. And I was just upset in general. I was just upset about
Right.
everything. So yeah, continue, please. This is bringing up a lot of memories.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. And then it was just, I was really happy you guys cut the last part. I was really happy.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
it was
so-
just cleaner.
It was cleaner.
Yeah.
It just made a lot more sense. And just going through all the, like, for me, the most interesting thing is seeing it in the editing room and just going through all the takes and just seeing how you can just push in on a shot to create something. Because there was a couple of shots, like, I think it was the inserts that we really had to play around with. And,
Yeah.
you know, just the whole, it was really interesting to see. And it was the first one for me. So,
Yeah, and then because we had shot on a bunch of different days, I had done all the pickup inserts and stuff with Alejandro and chopped my own stuff that wasn't lit the same. When we took it to Jeremiah to color it, he had to sort of go through and try to match everything.
And then I forgot that we showed it at the screening, the Unreasonable Shorts.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, it was that and Girl Interrupted.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like people liked Cellular.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. The poop jokes got laughs.
And people can relate to like not being able to at least that happens to me all the time. I can't hang up the phone. I always have to make something up. Like I'm getting another phone call or
Right.
But now I know just to say, hey, I gotta go.
Hey,
I gotta go.
Yeah, I think that was the other joke, or what really resonated with us about the idea was that we've literally all been stuck on the phone with somebody and not known how to get off the phone. And really, always, you just say, hey, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have any excuse. You just say, I gotta go, and you're done. And that was the whole humor, that he's building this thing up way bigger than it needs to be.
I love that the character that I played is a person who genuinely doesn't recognize what you're saying until you say, I actually have to leave. I have to leave the phone right now.
Right.
Because all the other excuses, he's just like, oh, that's just an excuse. Like, whatever. Or doesn't even hear it.
Doesn't even hear it.
Yeah. So funny. So weird.
Yeah, so I think...
Why do we name it the Cellular?
Oh, and then we just couldn't figure out any movie titles that had anything to do with phones, really, that were
movies don't
relevant.
use phones very often.
And then we... I
mean, like cell phones. Sorry, horror movies and cell phones is what I think about.
Actually, maybe we could have gone some horror movie route, but I just remembered that there was a shitty action thriller.
I just remember
called
a good one
Cellular.
too. Yeah, there was.
Is that with Halle
Absolutely.
Berry or no?
No.
But there is a similar movie like
Right?
that. It had Kim Basinger in it.
Okay.
It's really bad.
It was
straight to
it had
video.
Jason Statham, I think.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we're all thinking of different movies.
Which one are you thinking of?
Kim Basinger for some reason.
What, for Cellular?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember Jason Statham.
Yeah. And you remember Halle Berry.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about? It should have been The Conversation.
It's not too late.
It's not too late. Let's
Holy
change
shit,
it.
it's not too late. We just
Did
changed
we
it.
just change it?
I think
just
we
now?
might have just changed it. If you see
The
this...
Conversation.
Yeah, because that's a prestige,
that's a
beloved
prestige film.
Brilliant. Okay. Jake is the best at coming up with the titles.
It's true.
He always comes up with good ones. The Conversation.
Yeah.
That's the new title. Fuck Cellular.
Yeah.
No.
Because it's all about audio. It's all about sound.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. Okay. Look at that. You guys witnessed it coming up with it just on the spot right now. Change the name.
Amazing.
What week are we releasing that one?
I think that's the last week.
Yeah.
So, only thing we'll have to do is change it on the press release, press notes. But that's great.
Yeah. Should
The
be a big
Conversation. Oh man.
So much better.
So much better.
That's Cellular.
change. Gene Hackman, right? We all
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Huge,
It's a
huge prestige
huge film. It's like one of the first movies I saw in film school. I didn't go to film school, but in a film class that I took, that was one of the first things that we studied was that movie. So
Yeah. Santa Cruz?
yeah, Santa Cruz.
Hell yeah.
But anything else we need to say about this bad boy?
I don't think so. Sound design, Matt Ackles was a buddy. Let us borrow his wedding ring for a second.
Oh, right. He let us borrow his
yeah.
wedding ring.
But it ended up being my earring.
Right, because we did a Lord of the Rings thing.
Yeah,
Because-
we did there's a shot that's we wanted extreme forced perspective, so we used a gigantic
Hoop earring.
as the
Yeah.
ring because it would just feel weirder and more surreal. And then we cut it out of the movie.
Yeah.
Again, we should probably post that.
We'll put it.
scene.
Maybe we'll do it as an
somewhere.
end piece.
No.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're good in it.
Get your
Okay,
acting
fine.
credits.
And we were
Fine.
gonna
IMDb
spoiler
acting
alert. We're gonna have that be a universe thing, where
Oh, yeah.
actually that character you play is the dude from episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, that makes
right,
sense.
where he
He doesn't talk at all.
in a future
Oh my God,
version.
yeah.
In a future version, we would have Tracy coming across you and Ambar.
Ooh.
Married. Oh, I
Married.
see. I like that. I like that. That's
And
funny.
that
with a
Tracy
baby,
would
with a
see-
baby carriage.
Yeah, with a baby and
Yeah.
stuff.
She can
and
show
so-
you the picture. Like,
Yeah.
No,
Remember
I think
this?
it's just like the end of Batman where they like look at each other and he nods and she
Oh, okay.
nods.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
And
was
then we
supposed
just
to be that.
play the theme from Batman.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's it.
I really
Talking
like
about
that
Kim
one.
Basinger, right?
Yeah. Talk about Kim Basinger.
She's all over this
know.
podcast.
Man. Shout out to Kim Basinger. Hit us up. You know.
Follow for follow.
Yeah, follow for follow.
Like for
20th
like.
Century Fox, FAUX. Come
Know
and
what
be
I'm
in one of
saying?
our shorts. Actually, that's a goal of mine this year. Is I want
You want a famous person
a
in
super
short?
famous person to be in one of our
Okay.
shorts.
All right.
And they don't have to do anything. Literally, they just go, "Oh, sorry, wrong room."
Right.
Like
right, right.
literally, they can do that. And then everyone's like, "What was Nathan Fillion doing?
Oh my God, you're Nathan Fillion.
What's Nathan Fillion doing in that movie?" It's like, I don't know. We reached out to him.
Yeah, he saw the hike and he just
saw the hike and he
or-
thought it
or
was
Into
clever.
the Wild, and he thought it was a pretty amazing film. Had to be a part of the 20th Century Fox train.
Again, the hike. One of my least favorite ones.
Into the Wild.
Oh, sorry, Into the Wild. We have nicknames for all of them, and sent it to a friend of mine, Mike Miles, and he loved it. It was his favorite one.
All right.
It's crazy. You never know. You
Yeah.
literally never know. We're gonna release something, and something's gonna blow up that we never even thought about.
I really hope that that's true.
Yeah.
I really do.
If you had to put money on it, which one would you say is gonna be the viral hit?
I think the completionist, or
Yeah.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
Wizard.
the wizard.
Wizard.
Sorry, the
no,
wizard.
it's okay. We have all the nicknames and the actual names. The Wizard.
I think that one is really, because I remember when I first saw it, and it was the last one that I saw, and I was drinking milk, and I just like spit everything on my computer.
You did a
screen.
literal spit take.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
did do a
God.
spit take.
That's
I think I told you about that.
Yeah,
That's
I wanted
huge.
to end strong, so I sent I in the list of them.
Yeah.
I think I sent it to you. Or no, you did your own thing.
I
I
did
sent
my
it
own.
to you first.
It was first, but I worked
You
it
want-
bottom
yeah,
down.
I went
Yeah,
bottom up.
Bottom up. Sorry. Yeah.
Will?
I think Girl Interrupted is gonna get some movement.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it's a good
that that everyone's gonna fall in love with Tracy.
It's easy.
Our
to do.
prediction, as we've talked about, is she's just gonna become famous and leave us way behind.
Way behind. But yeah, I think that my
Yeah, what do
viral
you think?
hit is gonna be. I want it to be something that's not like that I would ever expect it to be. Like one of my not my favorite ones. Chocolat is gonna be a viral.
That's
hit.
not your favorite one?
No, it's not my favorite one. You know,
But
it's
that's
not
your
my favorite
least
one.
favorite one.
No, it's not my least favorite
Oh,
one.
okay. Wait, so why doesn't that one work for you?
I wasn't a part of it. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I think because you talked to me about it before I saw it,
Yeah, yeah.
and you said like all the problems that were happening with it, and like
Yeah.
that it was hard to come up with the idea, and then there was like too many cooks and all that stuff. So
mhm.
I think I had like already an idea of what it was going to be before I saw it, and then I saw it and I was like, oh, here's all the problems, I can see them, and that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I think that one's going to be the viral hit of the century.
It's gonna be
20th Century Fox.
Wizard or Girl
Wizard.
Interrupted, I think.
You know which one I really like, and the more I watch it, the more I like it. Any Given Sunday. For some reason,
Oh,
I
really?
really like.
Yeah.
That was the
You as the
first one we did.
Oh, is it the
old
old woman?
lady. Yeah.
I love those kind of roles. You give me any juicy role where I get to be a weirdo.
Yeah.
It's
Just
true.
love
There
it.
was one in college that we shot where someone is supposed to be showing me a room in a house, and when he opens the door, there's like, and he's like, the lights don't work, and he turns on a flashlight, and then you're like a naked gremlin in the corner, and you really wanted to get fully naked and scuttle around.
Yeah.
And so you make
Sounds
like a
scary.
screeching noise, and then you
Yeah.
like scuttle away like a rat or something in the room. And then when I look up, the guy who's showing me the room is gone,
Yeah.
and you just hear like the tires peeling out of
Yeah.
the driveway. So it's like he fed me to.
Oh my.
I recently saw that. It holds up.
And I love that
holds up.
one.
Okay, I want to see this one.
It's so
All right,
weird.
we'll show you. But I remember sending that actually to I took an acting class in college, and I remember sending that to some of the people in the class, and just no response.
No response. Yeah, none. See, this is part of it too. That our sense of humor, I think, is so warped by Ren and Stimpy and The Simpsons, and like this kind of dark edge to it. That, you know, some people resonate with a lot. Like if you like it, you like it a whole lot. If you don't like it,
you don't. Yeah.
The funniest thing was that Tracy sent A Girl Interrupted to her sister, and her sister's response was so canned and funny. It was just like, it's not for me, but I'm glad that you're doing stuff. It's just like,
what the fuck?
I don't know, man. It's like, that's the response of people who just don't, we don't share the same sense of humor, you know? So,
interesting.
who knows? You know, again, that's what I love about releasing these things. What I like almost as much as people loving it is people hating it.
Yeah. Well, have you gotten a lot of hating it responses?
No, not at all.
I haven't
but
either.
I mean, I can't wait till the comments come in. They're just like, "You stupid face.
That guy's ugly.
Yeah, what are you, ugly face, doing ugly face stuff?"
God, I wish all these guys would just die.
Right? Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, those
a
are
lot
the
too.
comments.
They're so not funny.
It's like, chickens. What does chickens have to do with video games? I don't like it. It's just So, and we've been battling that since Trigger Street. Oh my God, Trigger Street.
Oh, the hate that we got on Trigger Street?
Mm-hmm.
What did we get hate for?
Everything.
Wait, what is that? Explain.
No,
Kevin
'cause
Spacey,
Kevin Spacey
used to have like a short film website.
Okay.
And people would submit, and then you would
Was it
you
simultaneously
would review.
released?
You would have to review
Yeah.
other people's films for some. Like, what was the like? It wasn't like thumbs up, or what was the ratings?
I don't know. I think it was comments for comments. Like you had to have a certain number of comments.
Oh yeah, and they had there was like a, you know, this like totally awesome or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There were different tiers of buttons you would click on whether or not you liked the movie, and then based off of your votes and your score, you would get more exposure or something like that.
Yeah, and they had like weekly contests and stuff like that
Yeah.
for best film or whatever. But I don't know if it was simultaneously released with YouTube or it was like before YouTube or like right around the same time.
It was before. It was before.
Is it before?
Like 2-3 years before.
Yeah, 2-3 years before
And,
YouTube. We're
and-
pre-YouTube, guys.
I remember, yeah, some people did hate our stuff
Yep.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. But it's great. Here's how I knew I made it. I made it. Still haven't made it. On YouTube, our 5 things you shouldn't do in a public restroom has millions of views. What to do when you run out of toilet paper, millions of views.
Yeah.
But in the comments, people would hate on the movies, but then other people would defend
Yeah, that's
the
true.
movie.
We
They'd
would
be
get
like,
just strangers.
"Get out of here,
Yeah.
you idiot! Like you have bad opinions."
Yeah.
And that's how, when I didn't have to defend my own work, it was like, oh, it's taken on its a life of its own.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch all that stuff.
I
blow
really
up.
hope it happens again.
I hope so too. Yeah, which means we have to put it on YouTube too to see if that happens. But, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. It's poop jokes.
Feed the trolls.
Love
Feed the
poop
trolls
jokes.
with our videos.
I think our core demographic is really like the 11+ crowd.
It super bummed me out that all of our most popular videos had to do with the bathroom.
Yeah, poop.
I was
that's
just
it.
like,
People
We should
like.
just name this one, screw the conversation. We just name it poop, poop, poop.
poop, poop, poop.
Poop,
Get a
poop,
lot of
poopity-
views.
Well, actually, we
poopity
tried to
poop
do
poop.
that. One of our videos, we
Oh.
named it Britney Spears Sexy Obama Preggers,
Yeah.
just as
Just
the
to-
title, just
Yeah,
because
I think
it was,
we looked up all of the most searched things on Google.
and it had the
Did it
video
work?
had nothing to do with that. No.
That's a good video too.
That's a good video,
Actually,
too.
you know what's interesting is that 20th Century Fox, you can go back and look at all of our old videos
Yeah.
on YouTube. So
Right.
we're going to post all of the new ones, but then you can go back and look at all the old ones.
Yeah,
too.
and there's an interesting contrast. I think.
Mhm.
I think it's also the same vibe
Right.
in many ways, which is
Totally.
cool.
Yeah.
And fun.
It's just we've gotten better
I think
at
so.
what we do.
You mean,
Maybe.
nicer cameras.
That's what it is. That's all it is.
And a better understanding of every other part of making movies, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other commentary here?
No, not on the conversation.
All right, the conversation
I like
is
it.
ended then.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
hey.
ended
Oh.
we've ended the
Of
conversation.
course you did.
Cool.
All right, bye.